When your words are like honey, and everything that you say in your praise is to show your face of all the things that you have faced, your challenges. And as you consider things maybe as problems, your faith shows yourself through the things that you say. There's no way. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way that you're gonna sit back and be in a daze from all the things that they would demean, to depreciate your worth. No, I'm not gonna listen to what you have to say. If those are the words that you have to speak to my face, maybe not even to your face. Something about being able to see yourself so clearly, your resilience when every single time that you've picked yourself back up, not to say that you're alone, but to actually say that you're here. That you're here, you've always been here, and that you're going to continue to be here. I find myself, top of the dome poem, understanding that love comes from the self, and that every single day you can shift a reality, and not even just a reality, your perception and what you're sensing beyond the physical body, this dimension. The things that you imagine and desire, allowing yourself to make it so fucking easy and simple, because it's not hard and it's not uncomfortable. Even if you are challenging that zone, you could be complacent. You could sit back and relax and let the world show you that there's a difference. There's a difference when you lead yourself, and when you are there for yourself, and when you show yourself. Allow the vulnerability to speak from your soul, and also be discerning with who you speak to. Sometimes you say things to their face time and time and time and time again, when you're really talking to the wrong fucking person, because it was meant to be to show you that there's dissonance. And it's not to explain yourself, it's to say what you need to say. Not to prove a point, but to prove to yourself that that is how you truly feel. Allowing your actions to follow your words, so your words aren't so frivolous. And then seeing how your words started to flit across pages, texting meaningless messages as if those things didn't matter to you, when they did, in their own ways. And then you recognize that it's not about proximity, it's about this presence. Did I feel present in those moments? Did I allow myself to be seen clearly? Was that something that I felt safe enough to do? Was this truly a space for me to delve deeper? Not so that I am losing breath, but to say that I am no longer going to dissociate and disapprove of my own depths. Distinguish it through your decision. You have every right to decide. It is not up to another person to tell you what to do or what works best for you. And that's why I always say, hello collective, it's Kai. Disclaimer, this is all just based on my own experience. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, what works best for you. That's for you to decide. And I really find myself in this present, because I've been feeling quite in a different kind of low, where I'm constantly facing myself. And it's interesting because I've been watching a lot more like humorous stuff on like Instagram and like TikTok and stuff. And it's so funny because having that humor to be yourself, when someone shows disgust or disapproval for who you are, I honestly do laugh a little bit when I sense that, because in your own right, to be yourself, when someone tells you to be something different, that is something I learned last summer, and that's something I learned very harshly. And it's interesting because in a sense, I feel that there is this sense of accountability of what part I played. I too feel like that's also a very important thing of understanding your process. You know, if you feel like guilty or ashamed or resentful or regretful for anything that you've done or for anything that someone has done that has affected you, right? Let's acknowledge that. Let's acknowledge that, because even in that case, just to share for my own experiences, I was so used to caring for this person. I was so used to caring and catering and not putting my needs first, and I realized that it doesn't have to be out of a defense, out of something to protect myself. I realized that really just releasing myself into compassion and love, and forgiving myself for not showing up in the past, and therefore not even focusing on this person, but then realizing that distance, the distance in whether it is physical or not, but truly that imagined distance as well. And I was also kind of feeling resentment towards someone that I decided to keep connecting to, that I didn't actually have a genuine connection with. It's so interesting. It's so interesting to live life and be like, oh, everything's just going so well and it's going so easy. And it all happens simultaneously and I'm receiving everything that I desire and I'm abundant. And then there's moments where I'm like, oh shit, like I literally need to just be aware of myself. That's literally it. And I don't know, I find this concept to be so interesting because it can't actually be contextualized just because of the fact that it comes in different forms every single fucking time. It's like the dichotomy of living life and then therefore also detaching from the physical dimensional experience, your senses. Those 5 senses that you have, that you're very well aware of, that you are always capable of tapping into. It's there. That's the fundamental foundations of things. And then you build it on the spiritual aspects, the soulful aspects of you, the things that you imagine, the things that you think, the things that you feel. And then even transcending that, the things that you have yet to be seen, truly. And that's why seeing things without seeing them is just as important as being able to also witness things in the moment and notice. And so I was just pulling some cards and I was like, bro, I haven't felt, it's just not the same. It just doesn't feel the same. It feels fucking weird. And I'm just living in this weirdness, honestly. Like, it just feels weird. I'm just gonna let it be weird forever long that it needs to feel weird. And I'm gonna continue to live my life and create from that source because it's different. It's different. It's so different. And I don't even know what to say. I've just been, like, it's just whatever. I've been just thinking about a lot of things and then also kind of like delving into different avenues. I've been reading books and also approaching my cardmancy differently, as well as like making sure that I also do meditate. I've been meditating more and just allowing myself the space, and today I decided to kind of like cleanse my body a bit, in different forms. I'm not starving myself. I actually don't know how I feel about fasting, because it's interesting because when your body's screaming for nutrients, I don't believe it to be good to force yourself to, especially just because, trigger warning, I do have an eating disorder. So it's a very different playground for me. Not to like disconnect from you guys, but just to speak up for myself, I do feel that definitely affects my relationship with food. And that's kind of what I mean by this whole fucking video. It's based on your own circumstances and how you interact with yourself, right? Just because I'm speaking to a camera doesn't mean that I'm not speaking from my heart. And let's just say that there's a response that may not be exactly what I was expecting, right? Or that I desire even. And it's like, that doesn't make it wrong or right. That just makes it what it is, a response. And I feel that there's something so important about that, especially growing from not having that stable foundation to feel safe to express myself. Then going through relationships where I learned what it actually looks like through me, what it looks like to be codependent. And then learning from that as I started to grow as an independent being, what it actually feels like to want to securely attach to someone in a safe and honestly healthy enough environment to grow and evolve through the senses and really detach from the expectation of who, when, or how this is going to happen, but knowing that this is what I desire and this is what I know to be true within my own experience with myself. That to me is manifestation, because truly To equate your manifestation to be something that you within this material realm can possess, I feel that kind of strays away from the whole like law of detachment. It's like it is constantly, nothing is permanent. It's constantly cultivated through you and the way that you see the world and interact with it, the words that you say, the creative force that you are experimenting with, the poetry that you write, the things that you draw, the ways that you perceive the world, the things that you pick up on, the conversations that you're willing to have, the things that inspire you to expand your intellect, the emotions that rise up so that you can feel yourself, like all of these things are just present within you. So that's why I always talk about I don't know, like even doing this is a form of creative work for me, because as I start to record videos, I recognize it does begin with me just pressing the play button. Play, having fun, not making things so fucking serious, because as we start to grow older and mature, right, it doesn't mean we're not capable of having fun, exploring things and feeling that innocence, that youthfulness, that even naivety, you know, like learning something, understanding that it doesn't come with, it's not failure, it's a lesson, it's something you can take away from. It's always an experience that's worthwhile and valid. So it's crazy that I myself would look at certain experiences and be so resentful, and then identify my conditioned mind that used to be so judgmental. Really, that's really what it is. Comparison, like judgment, competition, fight or flight, survival needs, understanding that that's not the same thing that applies in this current reality that I'm living. It's not the same. It's not the same environment. It's not the same people. It's not the same energy. It's not the same, like, but it's all connected and it's always here. And anything can happen from this cause, and it might be outside of myself, and I know that the universe is always going to show up for me, and it does keep getting better and better, because of the fact that everything is always working out in my favor, even if I don't understand. And that's where I catch my mind, because I'm like, I don't need to intellectualize or rationalize or figure out the reason. It'll figure itself out, and then when I release, I relax, I find it within me, and it's here, and it's present, and I understand myself a little better about the ways that I hold myself back or put myself down or procrastinate on the things that I'm passionate about. Maybe I ask myself the question of like, what is this fear? What is the becoming of this fear? And how can I support myself during this time? What is coming up? How can I show up for me in this present moment? On that note, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for being here, allowing me the space to speak, truly. I'm thanking you for being you, because seriously, thank you for being alive. Thank you for allowing me your presence. And I'm sending you guys so much love, so much support on your own spiritual journey. Bye, collective.